to order. Will everyone please stand for the Pledge of Allegiance? Pledge allegiance to the
flag
of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
All right, everybody. Welcome to our first meeting in the month of February. Can you believe the year is going by fast already? All righty. So up next, we have roll call. Ms. Martinez and Counselor Vigil emailed and sent a text and made a phone call that tonight he has parent-teacher conferences and he won't be able to attend the meeting tonight.
Okay. Mayor Coleman,
Here.
Counselor Daniel,
Here.
Counselor Broyles,
Here.
Counselor Hensley,
Here.
Counselor Griego,
Present.
Counselor Carson.
Here.
All counselors present with Counselor Vigil previously requesting to be excused.
Okay, thank you. Up next, we have the agenda approval. Counselor Griego.
I'll make the motion to approve the agenda as amended with Councilor Vigil excused. I'll second.
Thank you. We have a motion and a second. Any further discussion? If not, Ms. Martinez, will you please take the vote?
Yes, sir. Mayor Coleman,
Yes.
Counselor Griego,
Yes.
Counselor Daniel,
Yes.
Counselor Hensley,
Yes.
Counselor Broyles,
Yes.
Counselor Carson.
Yes.
The motion carried unanimously.
Okay, thank you, Ms. Martinez. Up next, we have citizen comments. This is the portion of the agenda where we allow citizens to make comments. We do ask that you keep your comments within our 3-minute time limit. If you are still talking at the 3-minute mark, I will ask you to end your comments at that particular time. And this portion of the agenda in those comment sections will be timed. Ms. Martinez, looks like we have several attendees over there today. I see one hand raised, but if you don't mind, would you please give the participants instructions of how to raise their hand so that they could be recognized during this portion of the agenda?
Yes, sir. If you are on the Zoom app, if you can choose the raise your hand feature, it's in the bottom of your screen. And then if you are on the telephone, you will dial *9 to raise your hand.
And I'm
like
hearing
about-
go ahead. I'm sorry, go ahead.
I was gonna say, looks like I have a few.
Okay, I'm hearing some feedback from our side. I don't know where. So if you have any noise in the background, can you all adjust that noise, turn it down or something in some kind of way? We'd sure appreciate it. All righty. Okay, Ms. Martinez, feel free to, I could recognize the ones that I see if that's okay. All right,
Yeah.
the first person I see with their hand up is Jason Kelly.
Good evening, Mayor, Council.
Hello.
Thank you. Yeah, no, thank you for the opportunity. I just wanted to come on really quick and I won't take up too much time. I on behalf of the San Luis Valley Youth Hockey Association, I just wanted to thank council and staff and especially those over at the rec center. They've been so great to work with and cooperating with us with the Hockey Association. We just could not do this without you guys. So thank you so much. And we had a good conversation with Jess and Andy talking about how we can try to have some games here. That's been a real concern of ours because that so much travel. And as you know, hockey is a pretty expensive sport. Last weekend, they went up to Craig, and that was quite the haul, but they had a good time and had some good games. And in visiting with them, it looks like now we might be able to have a few games here in February, maybe one in March, one weekend. And it's just a single team. And we certainly are cognizant of all of the protocols that need to be in place and the things that need to be done. And we're happy to help in whatever way we can, if we can man stations or do whatever to make sure that everybody stays safe. But I just wanted to take an opportunity. You guys probably don't hear it a lot from too many people, or and at least from the Hockey Association, that thank you. We really do appreciate it. The discount, the rate that you guys give us on the ice time is just wonderful. So it makes this program available to kids of the San Luis Valley. So again, thank you. And if there's any questions you have later down the road, I know this isn't the time for it, but please feel free to reach out to one of us. We're happy to do that. So thank you. Have a good evening.
You have a good evening too, Jason, and thank you for everything you do at the county. Appreciate that. Okay, up next, we have, what I'm seeing is San Luis Valley Local Foods. So whoever that person is, if you could say your name and then start your comments. Okay, the hand that I see raised is the San Luis Valley Local Foods is what's showing up.
Good evening. Thank you for allowing me a time to speak. Thank you. I'm Liza Marin with the San Luis Valley Local Foods Coalition. And it's great. Some of your faces I haven't even seen in a year. So like Heather, it's so good to see you all. Liz. Anyway, I'm here in support of Jen Wild, and I believe you have Jen Wild on the agenda tonight, and the Rio Grande Farm Park is a willing and happy partner in that project. We're so thankful for the funds that you have stewarded over the years for GOCO to the Inspire project, and I just want to, encourage you to support that project, this Gen Wild project, and just to give our kids a great outdoor experiences as we go through COVID. It's a great thing, even without COVID. And the Rio Grande Farm Park is a really happy participant to be teaching about agricultural education, giving some growing experiences, and just the environmental experience along the Rio Grande there. So thank you for listening, and thank you for serving. And it's great to see your faces. I can't see myself, so it feels weird. I've not.
Okay.
Good
Thank you
night.
so very much, Liza. Thank you for your comments.
Mayor, I'm not sure if you've noticed this because we don't actively read the Q&A, but of the hands raised, there was a question put to us of if Garrett M. could be allowed to comment prior to Elias and Carlos. He wants to give them a brief introduction. So I wanted to make sure you saw that as you're looking at the order of how you call on people.
No, I didn't see that. So can you say that one more time, Ms. Brooks?
So if you want, maybe call Garrett M. next.
Okay. All right. So up next, we will call in Garrett M.
Hi there. Thank you for having me tonight. My name is Garrett Marquez. I work for the Boys and Girls Club of the San Luis Valley in Alamosa. And I just wanted to introduce two of my junior staff members. I brought them so that we could just kind of give you guys a brief insight into what our program looks like from all sides. So I'm the director of the program. I have a really awesome opportunity to give our team members jobs within our outdoor program. And it's something that's really, really beneficial to them as well as the club. So I have two junior staff members, Elias Resendez and Carlos Gonzalez, that I brought today so that they could just kind of show their side of what this program has done for them and why this is very beneficial to our community. And then as myself, I can also vouch for that. This is an amazing, amazing program that we really, really need to continue to fund and just keep going, because getting kids outdoors has been absolutely vital to the work that we've been doing at the club. So thank you guys for all your work, and I look forward to hearing them speak. But I just wanted to make sure that you guys knew they were coming from the club. These are teenaged young men who are just really in the thick of our outdoor program. So I hope you guys enjoy. Thank you for having me.
Thank you, Garrett. Appreciate it. Okay, so up next, is that going to be Carlos?
Hello, can you guys hear me?
Yes.
Yeah. It's a pleasure being here. So as you already know, I am employed by the Boys and Girls Club of the San Luis Valley under GOCO. And I've been employed there for about like 2 times because it's kind of a term. But I think the program is just amazing because certain kids, we have other programs like art, but there's kids that don't do too good with that. So when we go outside, they really enjoy it. And it's just a time to get away from school and problems at home that they may have, that they can just enjoy because it's just fun to be outside for them. And you can just see it that they just enjoy doing that. So that's why I think it's a wonderful program.
Okay, well, thank you so much, Carlos. Appreciate that. Okay, and up next, looks like we have is it
Elias.
Elias? Elias, there you go.
Hi, can you hear me?
Yes, we can hear you.
All right. Well, it's a pleasure being here. I would say it's a very good program because it helps, like Carlos said, it helps kids like that aren't very good with like art or like the other programs that we do. Like it helps kids out with like if they have troubles at home and school. It helps them clear their minds and a lot more. Also, participating in the club's outdoor program it's very fun. You get to interact with the kids and sorry.
Don't be shy.
It's okay.
Good job.
Yeah, but it's very fun interacting with the kids and helping them out. And it's a very good program, I would say.
Thank you.
Okay, thank you so much, Elias, and thank you all for those comments you made. I appreciate that.
Thank you.
You're welcome, and keep up the great work. Appreciate it. All right, up next we have Helen Sigmund.
Here, I've got it unmuted now. So good evening to Mayor and Council. I really appreciate your support and the SLV Women Act. I appreciate your support for our community project, and I hope you've seen it. I sent Holly an email with a photo of our second tree. It's been so popular that we were able to do a second tree, and I contacted Holly about that. And she said that if we were to need a third tree, we need to come back and ask for permission. We got Boys and Girls Club to do some of the discs. We got the PALS program doing some discs. And I dropped off today at City Hall a disc for each of you to decorate. Join our unity. So you can do anything you want with them, either collage or paint or markers, but we really are appreciating the artwork that our community has shown. Now, we haven't selected a definite tree because we don't want the branches to be too high that people won't be able to see them. So we kind of want to leave it open as to what the third tree would be, but I think you'll see that we are treating these discs so that they weather well and they will be taken down before the trees leaf out. So please make your disc, and we will permission to do a third tree, and I hope you all are enjoying it.
Thank you so very much, Ms. Sigmund. We really appreciate it. Okay, up next we have Tiara.
Hi, can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you.
Awesome. My name's Tiara Garania, and I came to the Valley about a year ago as the AmeriCorps Vista for San Luis Valley Great Outdoors. But I was just recently hired as the program coordinator for Generation Wild. So I wanted to pop on and also comment about the programming that we've been doing. I'm not sure how familiar everybody is with our coalition, but we're 9 partner organizations working together to get kids outside, and we serve about close to 5,000 youth across the valley in various different types of programming, anything from backpacking to composting workshops, STEM education to rock climbing, just lots of different awesome programming, building confidence in kids in the outdoors, teaching them about the environment, and hopefully instilling passion and excitement about taking care of the planet. So I just wanted to say thank you to the city for supporting Gen Wild in the past, and I'm looking forward to seeing where this partnership goes.
Thank you very much, Tiara. We really appreciate your comments. Thank you.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Okay, up next we have Eric.
Good evening, everybody. Thanks for letting me speak. I just wanted to speak as a parent of a San Luis Valley Hockey Association, 2 kids in that, and just say how much we appreciate the work that everybody, especially the staff over at the rec center, does for just accommodating our kids, and just thank you guys for opening that facility up to us. It's such a blessing to, especially during the winter, to have an activity for our kids to do, because it just keeps them active and out of trouble. And so I just wanted to come on and as a member and a parent, just to say thank you to you guys for the work that you're doing. I know it's hard through these times, and just thank you, and thank you to your staff.
Thank you, Eric. We appreciate your kind comments. Thank you. All righty. So I don't see any other hands raised, Ms. Martinez. Do you?
I do not.
Okay. So at this time, we are going to close the citizen comment section and turn it back over to our city manager and city attorney for any follow-up.
Mayor, I don't have any follow-up other than to tag along with the compliments for both topics tonight, which both topics, which the Generation Wild obviously is our Parks and Recreation Department is a significant partner with that. And it's just so amazing to see the partnership regionally in this area, and to see it grow and the impact on the youth and the quality of life for our communities. And so Andy and his team play a big role in that. So just sharing in that appreciation. And then also with the Hockey Association, obviously, having an ice rink with no hockey association wouldn't make much sense either. So thank you to that group as well for their volunteerism, and for staff for having continued discussions on what can we do that's safe, what can't we do, and trying, as always, to approach it from a customer service aspect. So just to reiterate a bit of that messaging. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Ms. Brooks. Okay, that brings us on down the agenda to ceremonial items, proclamation recognizing 2021 as the year of Adams State University.
Okay, and we have President Lovell and Chris Lopez here.
Okay, welcome President Lobo and Mr. Lopez.
Good evening.
Good evening.
Good evening, Chris.
So whenever you all are ready, how you doing, Dr. Lovell?
And Chris, do you want me to share the video first or after the proclamation?
What if we do it after the proclamation? Thank you.
Okay.
So I think I start if I can. Is that possible?
Yeah.
Sure, go ahead.
Okay, so Mr. Mayor, City Council members, City Manager, and guests, thank you for allowing us to be with you tonight. Turning 100 years old is a good thing. Turning 100 years old with a great partner is a great thing. We treasure our relationship with the city and we look forward to another 100 years together. We're so focused on our future. Our future is so bright and filled with joy. We're excited about having the opportunity in 2021 to acknowledge Adams State's past while keeping an eye on that future out there. The future we're talking about is Adams moving into stronger partnerships, great collaborations. We're keenly aware we're not an island. We want neighbors. We want collaborators to help us build this great future we envision. We want to celebrate all Adams State has been over the last 100 years. And simultaneously, we want to build a future with you, our great city of Alamosa. I know many of you have had family or friends or know of people who attended Adams State Normal School in 1921. I'm sure many of you have had family, have friends, or even yourself attended Adams State University. As we progressed as an institution, as a university, there are several consistent characteristics about Adams State. Number one, your friends or you who attended Adams State received an excellent education. You met great friends and developed deep relationships with interesting people who are probably still part of your lives today. You grew as a professional and had a great career as a result of graduating from Adams State University, and you increased your own economic status and maybe the status of your family from your experience of attending and graduating from Adams State University. Another key consistent characteristics over these last 100 years is the city of Alamosa and our intertwined relationship as a city and as a university. We're proud of this relationship and we want you to join us and to relish in our celebration of turning 100, perhaps by raising a glass as a toast to this great accomplishment. And most importantly, to acknowledge this exciting future we have together. One final connection between the city and the university, it's our namesake, Billy Adams, right? You all know Billy Adams, a mayor of Alamosa, and our former governor who played a strong role in getting Adams State Normal School established here in Alamosa. I love the fact that we share that in common, that connection to Billy Adams. So we look forward to providing over this year several Adams 100 events, and we're so disappointed many of them have been delayed, obviously because of the global pandemic, but we're going to have them and celebrate many things throughout 2021. And we look forward to hosting you in our communities on our campus when we can have those open celebrations. And I just want to say thank you. Thank you for what you've been to the university. Thank you for what you will be with us as a university and a great city. So thank you for the time tonight. I'm going to turn it over to Chris now.
Thank you, Dr. Lowe.
Thank you, Doctor.
No, please, Mayor.
Oh, so, Mr. Lopez, do you want the proclamation read or you want the video to start?
I think we read the proclamation and we appreciate that. And then we do have a preview of the Adams 100 documentary film that we've been working on. We want to show you a preview of that right after the proclamation. We have not shown this trailer of the documentary to anybody, so you're seeing it for the first time. You're the first body to see this, even before our Board of Trustees. So thank you for allowing us to be with you this evening.
Okay, thank you. We too, as council, would like to relish in this opportunity to celebrate with Adams State. And we are fortunate as a council to have one of Adams State's professors Liz Hensley as a city council person as well. So she is going to do the honors of reading the proclamation tonight.
Thank you, Mayor. I
You're
am very proud to be able to do this. I was thinking about the 100 years, and so I've been there 14% of the time, as I am in my 14th year at Adams State, but it is something I'm really proud of and really enjoy working with the students, working with my colleagues, things like that. So anyway, I'm going to go ahead and read the proclamation. I'm very proud to do that. Whereas Colorado Governor Oliver Shoup approved a bill introduced by Colorado State Representative William Billy H. Adams, establishing Adams State Normal School on May 4th, 1921. And whereas the newly created college and the Western Railroad town of Alamosa experienced a symbiotic relationship, and the connection continued to develop throughout the last 100 years. And whereas the institution, now known as Adams State University, has educated thousands of Alamosa community leaders, bankers, accountants, business owners, doctors, attorneys, farmers and ranchers, and most importantly, teachers during its 100 years. And whereas for the last 100 years, Adams State has been a key economic and educational institution for the city of Alamosa. And whereas Adams State University has 3,000 plus students enrolled and is vital to the ongoing health and well-being to the city and county of Alamosa and the state of Colorado. And whereas the city of Alamosa has provided students with internships, job opportunities, and supported athletic teams, performing and visual art events, and all academic pursuits. And whereas Adams State University was the first federally designated Hispanic serving institution in the state of Colorado. And whereas Adams State University offers 27 bachelor degrees, 9 master's degrees, and 1 PhD degree. And whereas the Adams State University cross-country and track and field programs have garnered an international reputation and brought Olympian athletics to the city of Alamosa to train. Now, therefore, Ty Coleman, Mayor of the city of Alamosa, and on behalf of the entire City Council, do hereby recognize 2021 as the year of Adams State.
Good job, Professor Hensley. Thank you, Counselor Hensley.
Thank you.
All right. Okay, well, and so Mr. Lopez, would you like to start the video now?
I think Holly's going to cue it.
Okay, good. Thank you.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
If Adams State wasn't here in the Valley, there would be less opportunities for our youth to get in higher education and less opportunities for them to come back to the Valley and contribute.
It begins with Billy Adams, and he became embedded in the community. He was here from the get-go, and he recognized that for the Valley to be successful in the future, it had to really have some kind of a school. And he eventually got, the Alamosa Normal School, it was originally called, to be the teacher preparation for the Valley here, to be located here in 1921, hence the 100-year anniversary of Adams State.
Originally envisioned as a teacher's college, Adams State University grew into being a fully comprehensive institution, ultimately becoming a university in 2012.
Adams State actually has a tremendous amount of resources for an institution its size. And you couple that with faculty and staff who are so dedicated to the success of students. To me, that's the most important part about Adams State, is that we have that focus on the individual and we can provide them with a first-rate opportunity.
Adams State has really been able to grow some deep roots, to have a solid foundation, and it'll be successful because of all the hard work that has gone on in the last 100 years. And so we'll leave a legacy of success and excellence that'll go well into the future.
All right, good job.
So a little, obviously, Zoom's not great to preview a video, a little choppy watching it, but Holly has the link, and I think she can email it to each of you that you can view on your own. I will tell you that for me personally, it just brings tears to my eyes, and it makes me swell with pride to be working on this project to show the shared history between Adams State and my hometown of Alamosa. So thank you again for this evening.
You're welcome. Thank you all so very much for the wonderful presentation as well. At this time, I'm going to open it up for council to make some comments. And council, I will recognize you as your hands are raised. Ms. Martinez, is there any way you could adjust this screen some kind of way? I think, okay, I got it. Good. So any council members, the ones that I see hands raised right now, first is Councilor Daniel, followed by Councilor Griego.
Thank you, Mayor, and thank you, Dr. Lovell and Chris, for this wonderful presentation. And for me, it's very humbling because I don't know if you got to hear Garrett Marquez speak earlier about the Boys and Girls Club, but his dad hired me. And the whole reason I am in Alamosa is because I had a job at Adams State. And so it means so much to me that my great story began here, and it began, in 2002. And so I have just really enjoyed being able to work at Adams State and to work with Adams State and to partner in so many ways. And well, I found my husband there too, but I think there's just really great things that Adams State and our community does together. And I just want to say thank you for all of that. And I found it so fitting that I knew Garrett when he was really small, because that's when Ken hired me, and now he's working at our Boys and Girls Club. And so to me, it all is all about the connections, and Adams State means so much to me as a person and as a professional. So thank you for what you're doing, and I'm so excited to celebrate 100 years with you.
Thank you, Councilor Daniel. Up next, we have Councilor Griego, followed by Councilor Brawls, followed by Councilor Hensley.
Thank you, Mayor. Thank you, Dr. Lobo and Chris. I'm a 1990 graduate of Adams State College, and I have had the opportunity to work as a partner with Adams State through the city for 38 years, sitting on the City Council. And I'm one of those stories to be told because our family came as migrants here to work the fields, and I was born here. And I could probably say that I was the first one out of my family to come back from the military with the GI Bill and go through and graduate from Adams State and run 7 businesses and been on council for 38 years and been able to work with a great organization like Adams State College. So thank you very much.
Thank you, Councilor Griego. Up next is Councilor Brawls, followed by Councilor Hensley.
I just wanted to say a great job. I'm a graduate of Adams State College at the time, now University. And I've seen Adams State go through several phases, so it keeps getting better and better. So I want to thank Dr. Lovell and Mr. Lopez for all the work you do, and let's keep Adams State going and growing. Thank you.
Thank you, Councilor Brawls. Councilor Hensley.
Well, I, like my counterparts, also graduated from Adams State. I was a non-traditional student, and I had a couple professors who saw in me, I honestly had no idea becoming a professor, and they saw that I somehow connected with students well, and they thought they brought it up and said, hey, had I ever thought of this? And I will tell you, I have found my calling. I truly, truly love teaching at Adams State. I love our students. I love our mission. And it is just a great feeling to see our students, and when they can go on and do other things and get good jobs, get good careers. And so it's something that I'm honored to be part of, and just I'm real appreciative. So wanted to share that.
Thank you, Counselor Hensley. Counselor Carson.
I just wanted to say thank you to Chris and Dr. Lavelle for joining us this evening and presenting, and thank you for being part of the community and everything you guys do. Have a wonderful evening. Thanks.
Thank you, Counselor Carson. Okay, I don't see any other hands raised, so I'll go ahead and wrap it up. I am very happy to say that both of my kids graduated from Adams State, and they are doing very well in their careers. They're successful working in their field of, somewhat in the field of study, but I'm just thankful for all of the family type of atmosphere experiences that they had a chance to experience while they were there with the instructors as well as the student body and all of the participants there. So Dr. Lobo and Mr. Lopez, the work that you all do at ASU is extremely important to our community and important to our state. Keep up the great work. Thank you so very much. Congratulations on your 100. And I hope and pray you make it many, many more years with great success.
Thank you all. Have a wonderful meeting.
You're welcome. Take care.
Thank you, guys. Have a good evening.
Thank you, Chris.
All right, good job. Okay, up next we have consent calendar A.
I make a motion that we approve consent calendar A.
Okay, we have a motion, Ms. Counselor Daniel.
I'll second.
Okay, we have a motion and a second. Any further discussion? Okay, Ms. Martinez, will you take the vote?
Yes, sir. Mayor Coleman,
Yes.
Counselor Hensley,
Yes.
Counselor Carson,
Yes.
Counselor Daniel,
Yes.
Counselor Griego,
Yes.
Counselor Broyles.
Yes.
The motion carried unanimously.
Okay, thank you so very much. That moves us on down to regular business brought forward by our city staff. The first item we have under Public Works, Resolution number 3-2021, approving the City of Alamosa 2021 3-mile annexation plan update.
Thank you, Mayor. And Deacon is going to handle this one.
Okay.
So sorry for the really long title, everyone. So the 3-mile plan is a really good long-range planning tool for the city of Alamosa to figure out how's it going to grow, to really determine what future land uses can be, what potential issues there are for annexations. And it's also required by state law. So before we annex any additional property to the city, we've got to have a 3-mile plan. For the city of Alamosa, really 1 mile is much more appropriate based on the pace of our development. And this year's 3-mile annexation plan isn't substantially different from previous ones. The only really difference of note is there were 2 different annexation target areas that we broke up into a little bit smaller pieces to mitigate some potential future land use conflicts. For example, in the southwest part of Alamosa, where we've got some photovoltaic sites and we've got the transfer station, trying to make sure that there's some consideration given between, future residential growth and what's really essentially industrial growth. And then for Southeast Alamosa, we broke that up into 2 different segments. One is more closer to the river and kind of a good support growth area for our downtown and kind of a revitalization of that area. And then the South River Road corridor is a little bit of a different nature, which is really an outlet for future residential growth should the opportunity arise. So with that, I'm happy to answer any questions.
Okay, thank you so much, Deacon, for sharing that helpful information with us. Council, any questions? Okay, if not, okay, Councilor Griego. Oh, Councilor Daniel, I see your hand raised. And okay, I see Councilor Griego followed by Councilor Daniel. So we'll go in that order, okay? Councilor Griego followed by Councilor Daniel.
I guess my question or comment is, as we look at this annexation plan and we look at our housing study where we're in 10 years, we're going to have what they say 550 homes built or something like that. How does that work together, Deacon? And how does you know?
Yeah, that's a great question. Older 3 Mile annexation plans for the city really seem to target commercial growth. And really what we're seeing, obviously, as reflected through the housing assessment, is that we need more residential growth. And so that was kind of one of the thoughts behind breaking out that southwest part, is as residential is growing that way, how do we make sure that the residential properties are growing, but also we're not sticking homes right next to the XL energy transfer station and things like that. So fits in, I think, very well.
Okay. Thank you.
Thank you, Councilor Grego. Councilor Daniel.
Thank you, Mayor.
Welcome.
Deacon, I was just reading the communication and I wanted to make sure, I think it might just be a typo or I'm not remembering things or I'm misunderstanding. So in the last paragraph before it says issue before council, it says the update presented here includes all the land annexed in 2021. Is that supposed to be 2020?
It should be 2020.
Okay. I just want to make sure because I didn't remember annexing anything last month, but just wanted to make sure we were good with that. And I really appreciate the plan and making those accommodations for residential. I know that it's required that we do this, but I really appreciate the thoughtfulness that you put into it. And it helps me really understand where we can grow and where we can be going as a city. So thank you.
Okay, thank you, Councilor Daniel. Councilor Grego.
If there's no other questions, Mayor, I don't know if you wanted to make some comments.
I'm fine.
Okay, I'll go ahead and make the motion that we pass resolution number 3, 2021.
I'll second.
Okay, we have a motion and a second. Deacon, great job. No further discussion. Ms. Martinez, will you take the vote?
Yes, sir. Councilor Hensley,
Yes.
Mayor Coleman,
Yes.
Councilor Daniel,
Yes.
Councilor Grego,
Yes.
Councilor Broyles,
Yes.
Councilor Carson.
Yes.
The motion carried unanimously.
Good job. Thank you, everybody. Okay, up next on the agenda on the Parks and Rec, we have resolution number 2-2021.
Thank you, Mayor. And I don't think it's any surprise that we're going to have Andy handle this one.
Okay.
All right, thank you. Good evening, Mayor, Council. First of all, very powerful words tonight. So I just want to say thanks. Thanks for your support. Thanks to my other department heads and Heather. Couldn't do it without you and my staff too. So just sitting here, it's just been a pleasure to be a part of. So hearing from the other partners already, you've heard a lot about Gen Wild. I'll give you a few more details, but again, the tenets of Generation Wild are getting these kids outside through places, programs, and pathways. So to see two of Aaron's kids who are now working, who maybe took programs or got involved a little bit, I mean, that's just coming full circle. So that's really cool to see. This is a culmination of 5 or 6 years of work. By the way, this is resolution 2-21, so we got ahead of ourselves with Public Works, but we'll make an exception for that. 5 or 6 years back when we started SLV Inspire, and to come this far, and now GoCo is really kind of doubling their investment in the Valley, right? The first grant was around 900,000, I don't know. It was a lot of years ago, but now it's 1.8 million. So that's very gratifying, the trust that's been built and, you know, a doubling of the investment here. And so for us, the city keeps about 140,000. It's everything from snow grooming tools to archery to weekends on the Rio. That's kind of where our funding goes. And so in finality, I want to thank our partners. I'm just the mouthpiece, as Tiara said, or Tiara, there's 9 partners doing this work. And so we're thankful to our partners, to our finance department, and to John, who helps us track all this stuff. But this is a night to celebrate. This is $2 million into the Valley for outdoors, for our kids. synergistic work. So yeah, proud to bring this before you, and I'll take any questions.
Okay, thank you so much, Andy. I'll open it up to council right now. Council, I will recognize you with your hands raised. If you would like to make any comments at this time, please do so. Okay. The first hand I see is Councilor Daniel, followed by Councilor Griego.
Thank you, Mayor.
You're welcome.
I don't have any questions, Andy. I just remember when we first started having these conversations as a community. I just want to say thank you. This is amazing, amazing work, and the partnership that has been going is wonderful. So thank you for all the work you do, and kudos to your entire team and this coalition. It has done amazing work for the entire San Luis Valley. So thank you.
Thanks.
Thank you, Councilor Daniel. Okay, up next, Councilor Griego, followed by Councilor Hensley.
Thank you, Mayor. I too want to echo what Chris has said. Andy, you and your staff, and Heather, you guys, this rapport that you have with a lot of partners, not only in the San Luis Valley, but the state level. You know, I've been to meetings and gatherings where the way you guys work together, that's why we've been so successful. That's why we've been able to bring so many grants and do such great things, not only for the city of Alamosa, but people throughout the San Luis Valley that come and enjoy the trails, our parks and stuff like that. It's just tremendous, you know. So I just want to thank the way that you guys work together and keep up the same work. Thank you.
Thank you, Council. And thank you, Councilor Griego. Okay, up next, we have Councilor Hensley, followed by Councilor Carson.
So I'm going to echo what both of you said, and just add to it the idea of having such a great opportunity for our youth, for all the people in the valley to really experience the outdoors. It's a special thing, and obviously we're very special to be in this area, to be able to have this opportunity that a lot of people in larger cities and things like that don't have. And so I think it's something we're very lucky and blessed, and it's great to have some positive things going on, this being one of them.
Thank you, Councilor Hensley. Councilor Carson.
Just like to say thank you and make a recommendation that we adopt resolution 2-2021 as presented.
Okay, we have a motion. Do we have a second?
Second.
We have a motion and a second. And I would just like to also thank the rec team and the city staff for all the work you all do as a team. I mean, being a representative for the entire San Luis Valley and being able to help double that investment throughout the San Luis Valley. What I like the most, though, is that I see the actual follow-up and follow-through that you all have, making all of these plans that we already have written down come and become a reality. So that is awesome. Keep up the great work, everybody. So we have a motion, we have a second. No further discussion. Ms. Martinez, will you please take the vote?
Sir, Councilor Broyles,
Yes.
Councilor Griego,
Yes.
Councilor Hensley,
Yes.
Councilor Daniel,
Yes.
Mayor Coleman,
Yes.
Councilor Carson.
Yes.
The motion carried unanimously.
Okay, thank you. All right, so that brings us on down to information technology. Motion authorizing the acceptance of a bid in the amount of $38,494 for the upgrade of the council chambers video system. I'm quite sure that's going to be Mr. Jim.
No, actually, this time I'm going to do it.
What? Okay.
Oh, surprise, surprise, they let Heather talk. So I just, now that the feel good stuff's over, I guess I will talk about an item where an important piece of equipment has broken. The video system in our council chambers, it was obsolete, and towards the end of 2020, it essentially stopped working. Jim and his staff have turned over every rock trying to see if we can find used pieces. If we can bring in maybe a different type of system that still works with some of what we still have. And it's so old, it's 10 years, but in technology terms, that's pretty old. And we just cannot find another device or parts that will save this video system. So that leaves us with the option of updating or upgrading it to a digital system. There are some benefits to having the digital system in regards to the quality of the broadcasting and the videos and those types of things. We can also add some flexibility for where staff sits, as well as what when we go back to in person, how the public can hook up their laptop if they want to do a presentation. So there are some benefits. Staff received 2 quotes, and our recommendation of the $38,494 is the lowest of the quotes. Thankfully, about 3 or 4 years ago, time gets away from me, 3 or 4 years ago, we did start an emergency fund for IT, which is honestly exactly for this kind of purpose. In the emergency fund, we have $80,000. So it would be staff's recommendation to use 38,000 of that, so we can get the system back up and running. It impacts not only city council. If we were able to be in person, we wouldn't have a system, but it also impacts municipal court, as well as planning commission and historical preservation. So it's more than just about us, even though, you know, we are important. So with that, Jim or I can answer any questions.
Okay, thank you so much, Ms. Brooks, for the overview. All righty, council, any questions? If so, raise your hand. If not, make a motion.
I'll
Council.
make a motion that we approve the upgrade to council chambers video system.
Second.
Okay, we have a motion and a second. Any further discussions? Okay, Ms. Martinez, will you take the vote?
Yes, sir. Mayor Coleman,
Yes?
Counselor Daniel,
Yes.
Counselor Hensley,
Yes.
Counselor Carson,
We didn't hear you, Councilor Carson.
Yes.
Okay, thank you.
Counselor Broyles,
Yes.
Greg.
Hello?
Councilor Grego?
Yes, I didn't hear my name.
The motion carried unanimously.
Okay, thank you. Thank you, everyone. Okay, up next on the agenda is public hearing and second reading of ordinance number 1-2021, an ordinance approving an intergovernmental agreement with Alamosa County for the subcontracted use of the animal shelter operated under contract between the City of Alamosa and the Denver Dumb Friends League.
Thank you, Mayor. This is second reading, so council's heard some of this information, as well as the contract that we signed with Denver Dumb Friends League. And so with the Denver Dumb Friends League operating the shelter, we needed to have one contract with one entity that would serve as the umbrella entity for subcontracts then to happen underneath that. And this is the first subcontract to come forward. The City of Alamosa has volunteered to be that umbrella entity. And then if this is approved tonight, when strays or other animals are accepted from the county, those charges would be passed on to the city, and we would be passing those charges on to the county, in addition to then paying for our own that are within city limits. So this is the second reading for that contract, and I can answer any questions.
Okay. Since we're going to have to open it up for a public hearing, do you mind if I open it for a public hearing first, and then I'll go back to council to have them ask any questions they have? Because I see one hand raised with Councilor Carson. All right, so at this time, I am going to officially open up the public hearing for the second reading of ordinance number 1-2021. Ms. Martinez, will you please let any attendees give them instructions on how they can make comments during this public hearing?
Yes, sir. If you wish to speak for this public hearing, you can use the raise your hand feature to let me know you want to speak by pressing the raise your hand button at the bottom of your screen or dialing *9 if you're on a phone.
Okay. I don't see any attendees with their hand up, but I do see 2 council members with their hand up. Let me just go back.
Mayor, I was just gonna point out that every time that Holly talks on my side, she breaks up a lot, so I can't hear a lot. when she's
Okay.
speaking.
Speak, okay. Miss Martinez, you're breaking up a little bit. So what I'm going to do, can you all hear me okay, though? We're
Yes.
okay? Good, okay, thank you. So at this time, since Miss Martinez or myself didn't see anyone with their hand up who wanted to participate in the public hearing, I am going to close the public hearing and bring it back to our city council where Councilor Carson has his hand raised.
Mayor, all I was gonna do was make a motion, so if people need to comment or want to make a motion, feel free. I was just gonna move forward as we're well aware of this issue. So if no one has any comments, I'll make a motion that we approve ordinance 1-2021, approving the intergovernmental agreement with the Alamosa County subcontracted use of the animal shelter operated under a contract between the city of Alamosa and the Denver Dumb Friends League.
Okay, thank you, Councilor Carson. We have a motion.
I'll second.
Okay, thank you. We have a motion and a second. Any further discussion? Okay, if not, Ms. Martinez, will you please take the vote?
Yes, sir. Counselor Broyles,
Yes.
Counselor Griego,
Yes.
Counselor Hensley,
Yes.
Counselor Daniel,
Yes.
Mayor Coleman,
Yes.
Counselor Carson.
Yes.
The motion carried unanimously.
Okay, thank you all so very much. We move on down the agenda to Human Resources and Risk Management, a public hearing and second reading of ordinance number 2-2021, an ordinance amending the established pay plan for the city officers and employees in accordance with Article 3, Section 11 of the Charter and as referred to in Section 15-2 of the Code of Ordinances concerning personnel rules and regulations and pay plan for city officers and employees.
Thank you, Mayor. Similar to the last item, this is the second reading, so I'll keep my comments brief. This change creates a position at grade 7 called police apprentice. And what it does is allow our police chief to have a little bit more flexibility when our regular attraction processes are not getting us enough candidates for some of the vacancies that we have. This does not create additional FTEs, but when we have had a few advertisements and we're not getting applicants in order to meet those, it does give him the flexibility to approach individuals who might be in the academy, who would be great candidates, to bring them on as a city employee at that grade 7 as a police apprentice, begin that process of the background check, the FTO, that fit with the organization and the potential officer. And then once they do take, or once they graduate from the academy and become post-certified, our hope is they would stay with us and we would reclassify them to a regular police officer. So this is just to give us a little bit more flexibility, since nationwide, for several years, we've seen a decline in applicants going into law enforcement. Thank you.
Okay, thank you, Ms. Brooks. So at this time, I will officially open up the public hearing for the second reading of ordinance number 2-2021. Ms. Martinez, if you don't mind, will you please give instructions to attendees of how they can raise their hand and be recognized to participate in this public hearing if they would like to do so?
Yes, sir. If you wish to speak right now, you can raise your hand by using the raise your hand button at the bottom of your screen or dialing *9 if you're on a telephone.
Okay, Ms. Martinez, I don't see any hands raised. Do you? Okay.
I do not.
Thank you. Seeing that there are no hands raised at this time, we will close the public hearing and bring it back to City Council for any further discussion and or motion.
Mayor, I move that we approve ordinance number 2-2021.
I'll
Thank you,
second.
Thank you. We have a motion, we have a second. Any further discussion? If not, Ms. Martinez, will you please take the vote?
Yes, sir. Counselor Broyles,
Yes.
Counselor Hensley,
Yes.
Counselor Carson,
Yes.
Counselor Griego,
Yes.
Counselor Daniel,
Yes.
Mayor Coleman.
Yes,
The motion carried unanimously.
awesome, good. All right, council, you all are doing a great job. We're moving on down the agenda here. Looks like we have committee reports coming up. Anyone have any committee reports? Raise your hand and I'll recognize you. Okay, Counselor Daniel.
Thank you, Mayor. I did attend the Alamosa Housing Authority meeting at the end of last month, and they are doing a lot of really neat things with their residents. They're really making sure that they're spending the COVID money appropriately and having some neat tutoring opportunities for their residents and the children in their complexes. They're also exploring the connection between the city and the housing authority, and so they're having those conversations as the commissioners on that board and really thinking through like having the liaison there, which they like the connection, but really thinking through what their needs are as a commission and as a board. And so that's been a really neat process to be with them on. So I've appreciated the conversations. The other piece that I attended was the Homeless Coalition, also at the end of last month, and that is going very well. Lots of movement with getting the needs assessment in, sending that out and sharing that with everyone, as well as really coming together to build a matrix of sorts with what kind of services we can offer in our community in order to be able to build our plan to either shore up some of the things that have fewer resources or to fill the gaps that we have. So I really think the group coming together and spending as much time as they have looking at the resources and understanding how we can serve our people who are currently homeless has been very, very helpful. In addition, I think it gave a lot of opportunity for Counselor Carson and I when we spoke to the county commissioners regarding the sheltering for COVID. And so I do think it has been really helpful for us to have that information just to bring that forward with the city. So thank you.
Thank you so much, Counselor Daniel. Any other comments? Committee reports, I'm sorry. No? All right, so we'll move on down to staff announcements.
Thank you, Mayor. Tonight's just going to be the shout out for Parks and Rec. I just wanted to say thank you to them for the Rio Frio and our other partners such as the Chamber and everyone else, but marketing board. So getting that event put on, some of it could happen as is, but like we saw with the ice sculptures, some of it had to be modified a little bit as far as the Rio Frio race had to be virtual. So I just want to thank staff for realizing how important this is, especially during this time, and being creative to put on as much as we can. And I will say we did hear from one downtown business that they did twice as much business as they normally would on a Saturday. So it does make a difference beyond feeling good and getting people outdoors as well. So congrats to Parks and Rec. And then also Harry wanted to give just a quick update as you know, when we approve our CIP, if we have projects that come in at budget or under, we don't have to bring that to council for approval, but we want to make sure we report back to you to let you know when those projects are getting done. And so Harry's going to report on one of those items.
Okay, thank you.
Good evening, Council, Mr. Mayor. I just wanted to update Council on a recent contract that we awarded for the replacement of the Alamosa lift station. The contractor that was selected was Rocky Mountain Septic, a local contractor, which is always good news to report. This project, it's taken a couple of years to put all the pieces in place. It starts with the engineering and the design work, and once we have that, we have to submit it to the state. And at the state level, it takes 6 to 18 months for approval. So it's a little bit of a process, but then the next hurdle is the financing part of it. So
Harry, I think you muted yourself, Harry.
It's
There you
much better for you. So I apologize, but once we get the approval from the state level, you know, the obstacle is the financing side of it, and how do we pay for such a big project? So, you know, this last year we put it in the 2021 CIP that, you know, we brought it to council. They supported our request and allowed us to move this project. So, you know, I just wanted to show my appreciation to council and supporting us in our projects and the trust you have in staff. So the contract amount to Rocky Mountain Septic was $185,000 and some change. And with that and the equipment that we have identified that the city are going to purchase, you know, it brings us in right at or just under budget. So just a quick update on that project, and I'm sure I'll be seeing you many more times throughout the year. So.
Awesome, Harry. You could see us anytime with good news like that, buddy. Good job. Way to go. All right. Thank you. Okay. Ms. Brooks, any other staff announcements?
That is it, Mayor.
Okay. Thank you. So I'll bring it on down to council comments. Any council members who would like to make any comments, feel free to raise your hand and I'll recognize you in the panelist section. Okay. First up, I see Councilor Hensley, followed by Councilor Griego.
I just wanted to say the Ice Fest having the ice, why am I blanking out? The sculpture, sorry, I couldn't think of the word. Having the sculptures downtown was fantastic. Obviously our weather was actually fairly nice for the daytime. And I saw a lot of people walking around Saturday. I was busy and couldn't do it Saturday. So I walked around Sunday with my granddaughters. I did see Mayor Coleman as we were walking around. I know the kids just love taking their pictures and seeing that. And it was just neat to see the activity downtown. And then as I'm walking by, how many people also commented on our parklets. And boy, is that getting quite a positive feedback and the excitement, seeing some that are already using it, but what it can lead to come spring and summer. So I think we're on the right track, and I'm just really excited about how things are just starting to snowball together and become more vibrant.
Thank you, Councilor Hensley. Appreciate it. Ms. Brooks has her hand raised, so I'll go to her and then we'll go to Councilor Griego and then Councilor Daniel. Go ahead, Ms. Brooks.
Thank you, Mayor, for that. I appreciate letting me butt in a little bit. To Councilor Hensley's appreciation on the parklets, I just really need to give a huge shout out to Deacon, who, if he doesn't have some gray hairs following that project and needing to coordinate on getting the parklets, and there were some delays and CDOT approval, all of that. So cheers out to Deacon, and then also Harry and Ray with our street crews. They're awesome. And so thank you, Councilor Hensley, for reminding me about that. I don't know how I could miss doing a shout out for that. So thank you for letting me interrupt, Mayor.
Oh, you're welcome. Anytime. No problem. All righty. Councilor Griego, followed by Councilor Daniel.
Mayor, I just had two comments.
Sure.
We're talking about Boys and Girls Club. We're talking about outside and IT. Here about a month ago, over at the Friends Park, and I'm sure Andy's aware of this, somebody loaded up and took a picnic cover, which was worth about $10,000. And they were able to, the Boys and Girls Club, they have a camera out there and they have lighting, but their camera's so far away that they could see the people, the cars, but they didn't get a clear picture of it. I guess my comment is there a way that the city can put a camera there? Some kind of, we were able to get together a grant and put lighting in there, but to put some kind of a camera in there, that's a very widely used park. You know, some of the newer park equipment that was brought in there brings a lot of people in there. And if there was a way that my friend over at IT would be able to put something there to maybe help out in the future if we see any other problems there. But that piece of I was talking to the director of the Boys and Girls Club. They said they had to bring a forklift to unload that stuff, and they saw where 3 or 4 guys loaded it on a trailer and took off with it. $10,000 worth of equipment. So I just thought I'd bring it to the city since we were talking about Boys and Girls Club outside and all this other programs, and if there was some kind of monies available where we could look at that. My second comment is that over at the homeless area that we put together, what do we allow them to build out there? Or how much stuff do we allow building out there? Because I've gotten comments that people are building stuff out there. I haven't had a chance to go by there. So maybe that's a question from Mrs. Brooks.
So thank you, Counselor Grego. So we've got a camera program if the Boys and Girls Club would like for us to give them some cameras. In regards to the park, I don't know if Jim needs to answer tonight or I can just ask him later, but it all depends on what wiring we have and availability for those types of things. I also just want to, as unfortunate as the situation is, it also is, I don't know what's going on with that location, because it's not the first time that they've had things stolen or broken into. And so it's just a lesson of we really need to make sure things are stored in a way that can help reduce that enticement to thieves type of situation. And so I know Aaron had notified Andy and myself of that situation. In regards to the homeless campsite, they're not supposed to be building anything except platforms that are as wide as what the tents are, because that allows there to be a little bit of separation between the ground and the moisture and the freeze and all that, and the heat we're trying to maintain in the tent. But anything that is vertical or anything like that is not allowed. I see Chief Anderson's on here, so he can have the community service officer, who supposedly we've got someone going out there almost every day, but make sure that they look for that and communicate that we do not allow items to be built. We have had discussions on, do we want to do a prototype of maybe a windbreak? So, but that's something that the city would be involved in, and maybe partnering with the Rotary out of Greeley or that type of thing. But the way you're describing the question doesn't seem like it's anything like that, because we have not rolled that out yet.
Thank you, Heather. I just got a couple of calls, and I hadn't had an opportunity to drive out there to see what they were building, or somebody was building something. So I just brought it to the attention, not a council comment, but I haven't driven out there myself to see what's going on. So, thank you, Mayor.
Thank you, Councilor Grego. Okay, up next we have Councilor Daniel, followed by Councilor Carson.
Thank you, Mayor. I also wanted to say thank you for the Rio Frio. I think it was awesome. I did not feel well this weekend, so did not do the reverse polar plunge. So I'm sorry about that. I did not feel like, though, it would be in my health's best interest to do that when I wasn't feeling well, but I did do the 5K. And we did, which was not a good decision, because then I slept for like 6 hours after that, but it was a really good 5K event that the team put on, and John played music during the whole thing. It was a live virtual event. And so I really appreciated the ability to, even though we couldn't run together, there was a commentator that played, and then she told us where we all were in our standings. And there were people from all over who got into the Charge app to be able to run together, even though we couldn't run together live. So it was a neat event, and that I saw the sculptures and things like that. So that was wonderful. So thank you to the team who put that on. It was really, really amazing.
Thank you, Councilor Daniel. Appreciate that. Up next, we have Councilor Carson.
I was just gonna ask about the camera program for them as well, to speak to what Councilor Grego said earlier, and to, I know there's been several items stolen from there, but to Aaron and the club's defense, the crime that occurred that we're talking about now was pretty, it was pretty brazen. The stuff they took was massive. It would be something that people wouldn't normally be able to steal, but it was some sort of long black truck with a big trailer. But yeah, it'd be nice if we could get more cameras out there. And I'm not a huge fan of Big Brother, but I think in general, the more people that we could help or push that camera program to around town, I think it would help with some of this stuff and maybe help lower some of the crime a little bit. So thank you for that. I was just going to ask about that, Heather. That's it. Thank you, guys.
Okay, thank you, Counselor Daniel. Okay. I don't see any other council comments, so I'll go ahead and wrap things up. I would like to thank all of the city staff that participated in making the Rio Frio Ice Fest possible this year, because I know it took a lot of different departments working together to pull this off, because we had several different activities going on. And I saw Andy, Jess, and John out there doing just about everything to make this as fun as possible. Counselor Daniel, you get a free pass for not participating in the polar plunge, because I've participated with you several times and you've showed up. Counselor Carson, he gets a free pass as well because he's jumped in. Everyone else, we'll talk about it later. But it was fun. It was a really fun event, and the parklets downtown were amazing to see, along with the ice sculptures. This is a true story. I was walking down the main street. I just saw Counselor Hensley and Janine. We were walking through and she said, you know what? If we were driving through this town and we were not from Alamosa, the way this town is looking right now, I would have asked you to pull over so we can stop and walk around and view this little pretty town. So I just want you all to know that it's really coming to life. It's looking beautiful. All of our plans and everything that we're trying to implement is I think everyone's doing a great job. So keep up the great work, everyone. And thanks again for all of your help and support in making the Rio Frio Ice festivities and the events a huge success this weekend.
Thank you, man.
All righty. So now at this time, looks like we're going to move into an executive session. So at this time, do we need to take a motion for someone to move into executive session? Okay, someone would like to do that?
Mayor, I move that we move into executive session pursuant to Colorado Revised Statute Section 24-6-4024A to discuss the sale or swap of all or portions of a 75-acre portion of the Alamosa Ranch along Highway 17.
Okay.
Second.
Okay, we got a motion, we got a second. Any further discussion? Okay, Ms. Martinez, will you take the vote?
Yes, sir. Counselor Grego,
Yes.
Counselor Carson,
Yes.
Counselor Daniel,
Yes.
Counselor Hensley,
Yes.
Counselor Broyles,
Yes.
Mayor Coleman.
Yes.
The motion carried unanimously.
Okay, so what I would like to do is give you all a brief 5-minute break. But it looks like, how about we do this here? Instead of 5 minutes, we'll make it 8:25. We will start the executive session. And after the executive session is over, no further business will take place. So will we have to, yes, Ms. Brooks?
I was just going to do the reminder that we log off of this Zoom and that there is a different Zoom link that Ms. Martinez has sent.
Okay, thank you. And let's join up in that meeting at 8:25. Okay, everybody? All right, good job.